Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Diesel 1 2 video. Today we're going and this is about point discussions. Today we're going to talk about the Golden Horseshoes, parts 1 and 2. So, this episode begins with Spike and Sweet Stuff looking for Mimic, a unicorn. And they see her, but she's transparent. And they don't know what's wrong with her, so they go see Megan. Now, my question is, if you have a sick friend, would you wait for a couple of days to find what to get some help? I know I wouldn't. So Megan looks over and notices that she has the tongue is coated of throat is red, and Sweet Stuff obviously tells him it might be magic, obviously, because she is a unicorn. And what do you do? What do they do when there's magic involved? They go see the boutique. So they go to find Miss Megan, Whistler, Spike, Lofty, and Paradise. All go to see the boutique. Who, by the way, has a wolf box to basically make the people think there are wolves nearby. But obviously, they think they're real wolves, but Mr. Winston shows that they're not real by opening a box. I was supposed to scare him off, and he's working on kind of posting, I guess. So I explained what's going on with Mimic, and he gets some gets this book. I don't remember the name of it, but he opens it and it tells about a unicorn who had four magical horseshoes, golden horseshoes. One that can read minds, one that can has blind light, one that can um, makes look like a clown, and and one that can tell the future. So the one that can tell the future is Screamer, and Miss Mutik gives him the wolf box because he figured that he might as well give it to somebody that actually needs it. And they sing all through the night on their way to Scream. Right. Scream. And when they get there, they wonder where the Scree are. And all around, they're basically hidden as, you know, they are disguised as rocks. And Fleetfoot, the leader, tells him that for the one that Wind Whistler would come. Obviously, he knew because of the horseshoe that could tell the future. And he takes them to the horseshoe until Megan explains to them what's been happening. And he tells them he's not going to relinquish the magical horseshoe. Windwestern, however, has a plan. So he's going to race Fleetfoot in a race. If she wins, they get the horseshoe. If he wins, he becomes their slave forever, and they keep the horseshoe. So they tie Whistler's wings down, and obviously she loses, but only because Scream knew that Fleetwood would win. Basically saying that he cheated. So they take the horseshoe and they use the wolf box and they take the horseshoe. Then they use the horseshoe to tell the future to find the next horseshoe, which is in Blockland, home of the blocks, which are about some mice people or mole people, I guess you could say. And they have the horseshoe, but they can only get the horseshoe if they can give him a riddle that has never heard before. So Megan gives him the classic boy throw the clock out the window. Obviously, he knows that one, but then Paradise comes with one about humans, and it stumps him. So he decides to take him to the horseshoe, and they save his friend, one of his followers, and return, they dig a hole into the Goblin Cave, where the next horseshoe is at. But as soon as they get in there, they are captured within part one. Part two continues on from there, and they capture all of them except for Wind Whistler and North Star. And they decide that they're going to throw a rock to make them. Oh, and then I'll talk about that in a minute. They take them to the mom and dad, and obviously, the reason why they did it because you know um detect them isn't just because of the horseshoe. It's also because horseshoe they're wearing. And so Riverson whisks it off and decide that, and they can't find them except, and they capture Megan the other ponies. Meanwhile, we get back to Mr. Moochick, who is looking after Mimic, and he says he's done all he can for her, but they decide to make a new pair of horseshoes. Get back to that in a minute. We, we then turn our attention to the goblins, and they're all fighting, and they put them in a cage, and oh, goblin decides that he's going to. He wants him. He loves the gifts, but he wants him to stop fighting, as he says, we're friendly with the beast. Good song. Eventually, Wind Whistler and Star come in, and they throw a stone and makes them fight again. And they basically take the horseshoe. And by the way, the reason why they know what is going on because they can hear people's thoughts. You know, which Megan even tells them, during the episode, if she lets them take the horseshoe far away, they'll stop fighting. Of course, the mom told the wrong goblin says, "No, you don't give away things." But anyway, they take it, and the goblins stop fighting. And the mom's like, "You know what? We don't need that silly old horseshoe anymore. You got they're friendly now." We did turn our attention back to Mr. Moochick, who is trying to make new horseshoes, but it backfires on him. And since it backfires on him, there's nothing else he can do. We turn our attention back to Megan and the others who are flying to and are up in the mountains, and they find out that the next horseshoe is in the mountains, and it's the home to the Green Mountain Elves. And and when they get there, obvious, but on the way up there, Paradise starts, not being able to breathe because it's so thin, and they did do that because get bad guys out. They finally get up there, and the castle looks deceiving because again they want it to look deceiving. Then the queen of the mountain elves tells them, and they ask her, can they get them horseshoe? And obviously, according to elven law, they can't take the horseshoe away from the kid. It belongs to Maeve, and according to Alvin law, they can't technically take it from her unless he willingly gives it to him. So they go up to Maeve and and they ask her for it. But she tells them no, and then shows them what it does for her. But then Megan has a bad idea. She tells Maeve that we see what it can do for you, and let's show you what we need it for. They go to Ponyland, thanks to the horseshoe, and they give and Maeve sees Mick pretty sick, and she gives it up willingly. And they get there just in time. Mimic is better, and even nuzzles Maeve, which ends part two. All right, tomorrow we're going to talk about the Flight to Cloud Castle, part one and two. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I'll see you guys in the next video.